Smushed sandwich. Let's talk.
Smushed sandwich.
This world, who is there, quote unquote, building up this woman? We don't see these videos of women complaining and nagging and whining and crying about why men won't build them up. Why won't you build me up? This is leader? You the leader acting like that? Let's go on. So we talk about Maslow's hierarchy of needs, where you have to have your base needs met. When it comes to a woman giving up her feminine energy inside of a relationship, the woman needs to be nurtured in such a way. Listen, standing in her masculine energy depletes a woman of her femininity. And this is why I say I feel like Black women are placed in an impossible position, where we are asked to stand up to the mantle of manhood and exert all of these masculine qualities, and then still have the space to rest in her femininity. It's a conflict. It does not exist in the same space. It's like our men want us to be out there in the trenches fighting with them, and then don't understand why we don't have the capacity to also be feminine when we got freaking calluses on our knuckles, bumps on our heads, and the weight on our backs too. And then when we want to talk about women not supporting men, has the problem ever been that women are not supportive enough? I am a life coach, and I talk to women every day, all day. The problem is not that women don't support men enough, it's that women don't have support themselves. It's because these relationships flow one way, where we're always looking for what it is that women have to give, but we don't nurture into that woman so that we can give that woman a house to make a meal in, give that woman a home to create children in. It's like we want her to be in the trenches and still be soft and feminine too. We want her to have on her negligee in the trenches, and it doesn't work like that. God.
What's really good with this chick, yo? Oh my God, like. Wait, hold on. So I mean, she's only seen examples of poor relationships. She's never seen great relationships ever. She's only seen men just been trifling and tearing down women. She's never seen good relationships. She's never seen a terrible woman treat a good man bad. Like, something's wrong with this woman, yo. She's off.
How you feel?
I mean, despite the delivery, I feel like it was a little bit theatrical. I actually agree with a lot of what she's saying.
Oh shit.
No, I mean, from that little clip, I gathered what she's basically, I'm assuming what she's saying is that she's speaking of men that have expectation of their woman needing to like lift them up and do this and do that and do that. But yet the man is not willing to give them the safe space to do that in. That's what I'm gathering from what she's saying. So I do agree with that to a certain aspect. I feel like it's true. Like if a guy wants that type of woman that is going to be that homemaker type of thing, because she mentioned the whole cooking and that kind of thing, and rearing children, then yes, I do feel like the guy should give her the space to be able to do that in. Not saying that she shouldn't put in some effort too, she should, but I can understand why she's saying that the guy should kind of take the lead in that aspect.
Okay.
I do agree with that.
Stephanie?
And so what I'm gonna say is everybody ain't an expert. I want to see what she thinks makes her an expert, and I want to know who her friends are, because y'all, if I ever get out here popping some yin like that, and it just sounds absurd, I need somebody in my life to tell me, because the problem is the contradictions in what she How are you going to be a life coach and you only see women through the prism of being victims of their circumstances? Like, that's what throws me off. And I think that she needs some feedback around that, because she must hold that victim narrative for herself. And that's such a disempowered perspective. Whatever type of relationship somebody is in, they chose that relationship, and so they got to take responsibility for whatever the outcome of that relationship is. I just am not a fan of her like talking about Maslow's hierarchy of needs and like using these psychological terms and manipulating them for her purposes, and like demonizing men and saying how women are just like basically like men are predators and women are their prey, and Black women are like, I don't know, just being manipulated by men. And that's the case for some people, but these broad strokes she's painting with, I think they just taint her whole argument.
Can I say this? I think she's on like, she took what that young lady said
and ran completely
on
across
like
the world.
Yeah. Like, what are you like? But that's cool. You know, she has the right to do that, but it's just confusing based on what the first woman said. It's like, you in a different dimension right now. I don't even know what you're talking about.
It's clear that she's triggered. Usually when people speak like that, it's because they're thinking of their own personal scenario. They don't have positive examples to go off of. Like, people tend to speak from their personal experience. So it's very, to me, I can tell that she's probably triggered. She's been through some situations where she's felt like she hasn't had the support, or, you know, guys always wanted yada da da da, but you know, they have low expectations. I don't know. I just can tell that this is from her own personal experience.
Yo, Ryan,
Positive examples.
you just have a look of like disappointment on your face, just like what am I doing here?
Yo, I don't. Yo, what? I'm gonna just say what? Men are from Mars, women from Venus. That's what they say.
Nah,
yeah, because she's completely on another planet. Completely, completely on another planet. Like, I don't know where she at. Like, I can't even make sense of it. I can't. I can't.
All right, Chris. I got one more clip, and then we can get out of here. All right.
Yo.
To sex nowadays is all beating up, slam, smash. Because he wants to take your body and exert this violence onto it to be able to relieve himself. But then not be held to task to provide the things that you need to be able to fortify yourself to deal with that smashing. So we want women to carry men in the struggle. Carrying her man, herself, the children, without ever being able to replenish. It's like far too often women's reserves, the stores are empty. There's nothing left and they still want more from her.
What?
Yo, you know what I think of the way she's going off right? There was this commercial they used to come on back in the day. It was like a for mental health. And it was like a guy, you hear him just dash the fire in my brain.
I remember that.
Me, agony. I can't stand it.
I won't. That's messed up, man. You shouldn't make fun of mental health, but
No, I'm thinking about the commercial. I'm not thinking about mental health. I'm thinking about the commercial. Because she's clearly, this is all right. A lot of our, you know, our opinions on certain topics definitely has something to do with some experience of things that we've been through in the past. You know, which is why like a lot of us can speak on certain topics and have, you know, specific opinions about it. But when certain things are still fresh in your mind, it's really not about the experience anymore. It's more or less about the hurt that you're still feeling.
yeah.
And I think with what from how she's, you know, expressing herself, she's still traumatized and hurt about something in her past. She's still dealing with it, and she hasn't dealt with it as of yet. And this could have been something that's still, you know, fresh, like might have happened a year ago or so, something very recent. to where she's really just, you know, she's still on about it.
Right. Yeah. I didn't really. I feel like point went out the window. Like, what does rough sex? She tried to compare it to, you know, I don't want to say too much. But you know, she's trying to compare what happened in the bedroom to a guy not being able to lead and provide. I don't know. I just feel like one does not have anything to do with the other. And I just feel like, what was her point of mentioning that? That was a silly analogy to me. She's mentioned like sucking your life force energy or releasing the life force. Like, what? I don't know. I just feel like that was pointless. Very pointless to her argument. That's all I can really say on that right now.
Tiff?
When my good sis said, "You're gonna let him smash you," I said, okay. We've abandoned all logic. What I don't like about her argument, and I think it's the argument of so many women, is like that women don't enjoy sex. And it's just like men have that desire, and then they're like somehow abusing women in sexual acts. And it's just like, the reality is women like sex. A woman might use a man for sex. So, you know, like, that's not out of the question. So I say that to say that I don't like the notion of like the sacred body. Everybody's body is sacred, and a woman's body is more sacred than a man's body. And women can and should sexual acts. And if you want to just have casual sex, that's your business. You get it how you live it, you know. Just, I wasn't feeling that energy.
I agree. It's like, again, she went way left. She's talking about a completely different thing at this point. Like, it's like that. She's triggered. It's like something that lady said triggered her, and then all the emotions from other situations just flooded, and now she's just expressing it and letting it out. And the thing that's like crazy to me is she's trying to relate it to what the first woman said, and now other women are hearing it, and they're gonna internalize this. Like you said, how is she a life coach? How is she a life coach? She's actually damaging people. It's crazy. It's crazy.
And also, it's like she's fear mongering and she's feeding fear. And, you know, Black men and women have enough disagreements and enough issues that people, you know, are trying to tear us apart. We don't need to be feeding and fueling the fire by like just, I don't know, manipulating the facts. That's what she did throughout. And I'm just like, people pay her for that coaching, for that coaching, I'm gonna say, not coaching, because it's fake. And I think that is just, I feel like that's an injustice. I'm so sick of all of these fake people trying to sell this imaginary stuff for $1, and people are susceptible to that, and people are like easily influenced. And I just think it's really sad, because you should have some type of credential before people can pay you to sell them some BS.
Agreed.
My opinion on the first lady is, I think what she was saying is kind of like, if you want a man, if you want a relationship, you should have standards. But I think she was trying to say, don't count out the guy who isn't there yet. If you see potential, right? Like you were saying earlier, don't get a guy who is just like, no, I'm gonna sit on this couch and play PS5 all day. Yeah, don't get that guy. But if you see a guy who maybe is in school, he's trying to better himself, he just doesn't have it yet, don't disregard that guy. You can stick with him while he builds himself up. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But I also will say this: people need to mind their damn business and let people do what they want to do. You know, if you want to date a thug, then date a thug. You want to date a doctor, date a doctor. Like, You know what I mean? At the end of the day, it's your life. As long as you're not hurting anybody, maybe yourself, but
Yeah, and I think one thing that gets obscured in this conversation is it's about things. And I think things are like like one of the last things you should look at about somebody. You should start with their character and how they treat you and who they really are in the depth inside, like in their spirit. And I think all that other stuff, it will just be a reflection of that. But you can't start with the stuff. I think that that's like the core problem of this conversation.
Yeah. Yo, this is very much an entertaining video, man. Like, I remember last time I actually watched the video and laughed as much to the video that wasn't supposed to be laughed at.
facts. So I don't know. It did feel like we were watching a woman respond to a video and then not really responding to that video, and she went on her own thing. I thought it was funny. I think this was more about a woman being triggered.
Yeah, that woman was that video was definitely about her, not the other chick.
She wasn't really responding to the chick. She was just telling her life story. Like,
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, hey, anything else y'all want to say? Anything else? Oh, real quick. Then we can wrap this up. I just want to get people's opinion real quick. The whole thing with Tiny and T.I. about them sex trafficking women. What's real quick? Like, what's your opinion about that?
actually, well, I'm always last to hear the scoop. I don't even know. This is the first I'm hearing about it. So what?
They're being accused of, I think 17 people came forward and said that they have been involved in sex trafficking.
Wow.
Yo, I seen the videos, and I'm just like, me personally, this is why I do not like to, when it comes to celebrities, I just like what their work. I don't try to like them personally, because they will always find a way to disappoint their fans.
Yeah.
They will always find a way to disappoint their fans. So it's like, if I like you, what you do on camera, as far as if it's you're an actor, actress, comedian, musician, whatever, I'll just like what you do, the work that you put in as far as your profession. Once your show or your thing go off, I'm going off. Like, when it comes to whatever you're doing in your personal life, that's your business. Now, don't get me wrong, because a lot of times, without our, all right, a lot of times without really like trying, we become fans of people more than we really wanted to, because we just became that, enamored in their work. So it's like, a lot of times it's like, yo, okay, you like this movie this person was in, and it was like, damn, now you're watching all of their movies, or now you're liking all of their songs, or whatever the case is. And then it's like, you're paying attention to everything they're doing. Next thing you know, you're on TMZ, and supposedly now they are part of some sex trafficking ring.
That's wild. Isn't T.I. the same one that had went to like the gynecologist with his daughter?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Well, that would explain why he's so overly protective. But
again, I don't know. But my beef with that is, I don't know if it's true or not. I don't know. But in this day and age, when it comes to things like that, that's something that's always going to be connected to your name, whether you did it or not. Whether you did it or not, that's always going to be, if they make a Wikipedia page on you, that's going to be on it.
What I'll say is this, like, so I hate to say this, but my gut tells me that there's at least a semblance of truth to it. If 3 people say something about you, that's reasonable doubt.
That don't necessarily mean, it can be 3 people that just heard what was going on the internet. That don't necessarily
mean.
That's your
opinion. That's your opinion. And
I'm
then,
not saying that, but I'm not saying that. I'm not saying I disagree with you. I'm just saying.
but what I will say is this, and part of the reason why I feel like that is just the way they're not acting like innocent people in their responses. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you are innocent, then you kind of like, let's say something that's absurd. You don't go and attack the people in response to their allegations. Like, I feel like that just adds insult, and it makes you look bad. Like, if you really didn't do it, then you can be the bigger person, and you can just be like, those are unfounded allegations. Like, I'm a family man. I got all these kids. Y'all see my family and my hustle. Like, this is not who I am. This is not what we do. I'm gonna honor that. I'm gonna have my lawyers handle that for defamation. I'm not gonna go on my Instagram and they have my wife cussing them out. I'm just saying.
I mean, what I'll say to that is, hey, these are celebrities. People say all types of crazy stuff about people who are famous. Like, I heard that Oprah put like baby blood on her face to stay youthful. Like, people just make up stuff about celebrities.
That's way different than what they're accusing these folks about.
No, but I'm saying like in the same vein that when you're a celebrity, when you're a high profile person, people can just target you. So I'm not saying that they're innocent or guilty. I don't know. I'm just saying I'm not judging them, or I'm not coming to any conclusion till I hear all the facts. And that's for anybody in any situation. I don't throw.
I don't feel like that person. I don't feel like that happened. Like, I do feel like there's maybe one or two people that may come for you, but the quantity that you guys mentioned, like 15 or 16 or something like that, people came forward. That's real sus, man. Especially if these people don't know, they're not related to each other. They don't know each other. And for 16 different unrelated.
But let me ask you a question. You remember when that scandal about Tiger Woods came out? That when he cheated on his wife or whatever the case is, and all those women came out and said that they were a part of the, did you believe it that he slept with all of those chicks?
Yeah.
You believe that?
I mean,
Think about Tiger Woods.
I was more concerned about him cheating on his wife with that one person, but how many other? It depends on the quantity.
But that's usually the case when somebody high profile is in a scandal like that. There's gonna be a random amount of people that's just gonna come out and say, "Oh, I was like he cheated on her with me too." Like this and the third. Like that's always been the case.
I mean,
no, but
I don't know. I do know this for a fact though. With serial killer, right? This is just human nature. When there's a serial killer, people come forward and confess to the murder. Has to interrogate them and ask them about the murders. And when they can't give information, like, oh, this person was killed here, then the cop is like, yo, you didn't kill these people. So anytime something is happening and is made public, you're gonna have people come out of the woodwork and say, oh, I was involved in that too. It doesn't mean it's true, but I'm saying this. It doesn't mean that it's not true. I just don't know. You know what I mean? Like
that's all. I don't know, and I'm reserving judgment on it. I don't know. I'm just saying.
Only thing I'm saying is,
I just hate I just do not like to be, a fanatic of celebrities because of, like I said, they're gonna find a way to.
Like everybody else, they're not perfect.
Yeah.
No, you. But that's the point I'm making. Like, because they're not perfect, but in a sense, celebrities are looked at as they're gods because of what they do, and they, it's like, again, because of that, people look at them as if they're not, human, like they're abnormal. Because they're on a, because of what they do, how much money they make or what have you, that any little trip that they make, anything that they do wrong, it's like, it's front page news. Mm-hmm. So it's like, again, it's like, if because of who your character is, you wouldn't do certain things like that. So when you become a fan of somebody, you would be hopeful that they wouldn't do something like that. So when you wake up in the morning, you hear that they did this, a part of you dies or a part of you is hurt because you wouldn't do anything like that. And then the fact that you love someone of a celebrity status that's done something like that, I think some people question themselves, like, would I do something like that myself?
All right. I mean, Y'all got anything else to say about the whole T.I.?
No.
All right.
T.I.
I do want to say those are some cute little babies over there.
Oh, thank you.
Is that J-Lo?
Baby. Hey,
That's-
No,
baby.
this is Pinky.
Hey,
What up,
baby.
Pinky?
Hey, baby.
Say hi. Say hi. Pinky, say hi.
Hey,
Say
baby.
hi. Say hi. She wave. Wave again.
Look at
Hey,
those
baby.
cheeks. Look at those cheeks.
Hey, baby.
She's the only one, but she's very advanced and very smart.
That's what's up.
What happened to the other
Give me
one?
that pacifier.
The other one is like, we don't want to talk about it. She having a breakdown.
All
Give me that
right,
pacifier.
all right. So I guess that's it. I think that was a good.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Thank
Hey, yo,
y'all for
yeah,
being here.
yeah. You, all right. Okay, yeah, I'll
Yeah.
just wait for when we, okay.
Yeah, I'm trying to wrap this up. All right, yo. So if you got any comments, what's your opinion? Leave it in the comment section below. Check out the description section for PureVPN, our sponsor. And thank you guys, Tiffany, Sharon, Ryan, looking like Popeye right now. Appreciate y'all for participating in this conversation. And that's it. Smush Sandwich, we out. Peace.
All right.